All right, we are live, everyone. So, good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Had a good, thankful Thursday, throwback Thursday, whatever you are celebrating today. My name is Jessica Renee. I am the founder and CEO of GPD Creative Agency, and this year is our second annual series where we are talking about self improvement strategies for entrepreneurs. Of course, September is Self Improvement Month, and we are now on part three. And I am so delighted to have with me this evening Queen Azizah Nubia, who is going to share with us all things spirituality this evening. How are you doing, Azizah?
I'm fantastic today. How are you feeling?
Good, good. I am doing well. We were just with each other yesterday
We were.
on the Hustle for Change podcast. So thank you so much for having me, and delighted to be back with you again today for this series. So we just two Black women entrepreneurs
Out
out
here
here
doing
doing
it.
it.
Of course.
We are out here doing it. So, Azizah, please take a moment for those who may not know you or who are new, to share a little bit about you and your businesses.
Okay, well, of course, I'm Azizah Nubia. I am the owner of Natural Woman LLC, which is a multimedia platform that empowers women around the world to my favorite saying is love themselves from the inside out. Like if you love your life enough, you like love your life enough to love yourself basically.
Yes.
And so in that with that platform we create promotional propaganda to encourage women to have more self-esteem, have high confidence in themselves, and also be inspired to tap into those gifts that they were born with and actually start using them around the world. I'm also the owner of AZ Media LLC. This is an advertising and marketing agency where I service small businesses, entrepreneurs, and corporations with either building websites, event planning, PR, communications, marketing strategies, graphics, social media strategies, anywhere you you need that
Yes.
service, AZ Media provides it. I'm also a mother of 7 beautiful children, six
Yeah.
boys, 1 girl. The boys drive me crazy, but they're still beautiful and sweet. And I'm here. And overall, I am. A lot of people always say, "You do a lot. How can you manage it?" Is because my spiritual nurturing for myself is like my foundation that gives me the strength and gives me the ambition to continue to tackle the things that I'm tackling. So that's what
Yes.
who I am.
Awesome. I wouldn't even say a little bit. That is a lot, girl. That is a lot, but that is wonderful. So, this year we kept the same things
Hmm.
as we did last year. We talked about self-care, then we went into systems and organization. This week we are talking about spirituality.
Hmm.
But the difference for this year is I wanted to talk about implementation. That was the word that came to me when it came time to decide how we're going to drill down on these topics.
Hmm.
So, I would love for us tonight to talk about how to implement spirituality into a daily practice as an entrepreneur. And if you could share with us some tips, share with us how you maintain your spirituality in this day and age that we're living in.
Wow, this topic is so on time because you know, we're human here living a human experience, and I'm human as ever. And so, for the past 2 months, I have been actively doing what I like to call I guess, a mindset shift. Because even though we know all the knowledge, or not all the knowledge, but we know things, sometimes we forget. Sometimes we get caught in different mindsets, especially if you hang around certain people or just around certain types of energies. You can, get back into that low vibrational mindset. I found myself
Yes.
in that space for a short period of time, but because I do like to self reflect, like I'm the type of person where I am not going to stay in a situation that makes me feel uncomfortable for a long time, or I'm not going to continue to do things that don't make me feel good. I like to make sure that all of my actions that I do makes me feel good. And so because of that, for the past 2 months, that's exactly what I've been doing, making sure intentionally applying these mindful, I guess these higher vibrational mindset strategies to where I can readopt things that I've always known, or not always known, but have known before, but needed to be reintroduced to it. And
Yeah.
so one of those things were thinking more positively. Sometimes we think we're thinking positive and we're not really thinking positive. And that was like a big aha moment for me, because I realized that I was thinking positive. Like, for example, let's say, what's a good example of some things that just, there's been so many things, just as far as bringing in more clientele for my business.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I'm open to bringing more clientele for my business. I'm thinking in my mind, but then when I get to my inner self talk, it's, I'm worried about this, worried about that. Like, I'm not even actively within my mind setting up for new clientele to come in. And
Yeah.
so when I caught myself doing this, I said, okay, I need to really shift my mindset. And so, like we were just saying, day to day, every morning I wake up 5:30 in the morning before my kids get up, and I go meditate. I go talk to myself. I turn off the television. Don't turn on my cell phone. I go to my altar and I meditate. I clear my mind. I set those intentions for the day that I want to manifest. And, I just really spend that time with myself. And, you know, I'm sorry. Some people don't like that because people don't like being with themselves.
Mhm.
But spending that time with yourself is like one of the best things you can do. Or some people don't like to get up that early because they say, oh, I'm tired. But I realize when I do take that time to get up an hour before my kids have to get up and just spend time with myself, my
Yeah.
days are so much better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's like one thing I actively do every morning. I get up and I meditate. But it don't
Yeah.
stop there because we got to go through the day-to-day life and stuff happens or whatever. So another thing
Yeah.
that I do, in addition to the waking up and making sure that I meditate, is my nutrition. I can't stress enough to people what you put into your body, what you put on your skin. It all affects your mental.
Yeah.
It affects your spirit. It, like, some foods and items that we ingest, it will literally block those happy receptors in our brains from actually being triggered, so we can be on higher vibrations. Like, you eat too
Yeah.
much sugar, it's going to be hard for you to muster up the feeling of happiness. If you suppress your anger, you're probably drinking a lot of alcohol. So I had to really get back into detox. And not that I never left, because I try to detox once a month, but really, really intentional, where I cut out sugars, I cut off starches. I was really intentional of nourishing my body. So making sure, I was getting my vitamins, making sure that I was getting proper sunlight, drinking proper water. All of that is spiritual, and it helps to allow that positive spiritual energy to really move throughout the day. So that's
Yeah.
number two. The third
Yeah.
thing that I do on a daily basis, and I'm going on 2 months, this has been my routine for the past 2 months, is I
Okay.
spend 30 minutes of affirmations just talking to myself. Now, sometimes I just repeat my affirmations because I have my list of affirmations to myself, and I make sure I do it for 30 minutes. And I do this when I'm walking, because I go out,
Okay.
I do 2 miles, I do 2 miles a day. So when I'm walking, that's all I'm doing. I'm listening to either some affirmation music. I love Joseph Murphy. He's really great. I love the prayers that he has. I listen to Tony Jones. But I walk for that 2 miles, and I am talking nothing. Sorry, someone keeps calling my phone. But I'm putting my phone on do not disturb.
Okay. I'm like, it's right when it's getting good and it keep cutting out.
Yeah. And so like the 30 minutes of just positive self-talk,
Yeah.
like it shifts my whole day. And then like really after a week of just making this my routine, because at first one of the reasons why I did started doing this was because I found it really difficult for me to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Like just to muster up happiness, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, gosh, like, wow, like why am I not feeling happy? Why am I not feeling good? Like, why am I comfortable with thinking negative? Why am I comfortable with worrying?
Mm,
You know, because sometimes
yeah.
we get addicted to those things that we don't like. And so like
Yeah.
after a week of just intentionally making this my routine, I started noticing, I started feeling happier. I started being able
Mm-hmm.
to manifest more because I'm thinking more positive. I'm actually seeing the things that I want now instead of focusing on the things I don't want to happen. And so
Yeah.
I just been into this groove. And once I got the hang of it, like by week 2, all these different opportunities, all these things just started coming my way. And I know they were all from me flipping the switch internally to, you know, be more high vibrational, keeping my
Yeah.
spirit pure, keeping it high, so I can attract and manifest the things that I want, because we're constantly manifesting everything.
Yes.
You know, and we manifest everything, even the bad stuff, even if we don't want the bad stuff to happen. But if we're not intentional about how I'm thinking, how I'm feeling, let me shift that, you're going to
Mm-hmm.
manifest that. So
Mm-hmm.
those are like some practical implementation tools that I actively am doing right now. Not to say this is my first time doing. I have done this. I've been in this game for 12 years, but
Yes.
this is like one of those moments where I had to like reintroduce myself, like go to the basics. Let's
Yes.
get it cracking. And,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
it feels really good. And,
Yes.
you know, it's going to shift your energy.
I love that. So, I mean, man, you ran through we can tell you on your routine, girl, because you went boom, 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 boom. Like you got it down, which I love. And I know that it takes that discipline to really be able to implement and be intentional about the practice of spirituality. A
Yeah.
few things that you said that I have to just call out is that first, I know you said meditation, then you said nutrition, and the third was exercise with affirmations. And so what I love about what you walk through as we talk about spirituality is a lot of times, first of all, we know that there's a big difference between spirituality and religion. And so
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important for people to realize, using your life as an example, that spirituality is not limited to Sundays. It's not limited to Saturdays or one day that is set aside for you to worship. It really is a daily intentional practice of feeding your spirit, feeding your
Right.
human spirit. And so whether you do that through meditation, whether it is through, how you feed your physical body or through exercise, being intentional about implementing those things is so important. So,
Yeah.
for people who may not know what meditation is or how to meditate, what would you tell them about meditation? Like, how can someone meditate?
Meditation. Well, first thing, sorry, I just had a slice of pizza. So it's my cheat day. It's my
Yes.
cheat day. I took the cheese off. I don't like cheese, so
Okay.
it's like tomato sauce and bread. But that's the only thing I had today besides smoothies.
Because you've
So
been
that's what
going
the
all
breakfast
day.
was. Man, just smoothies and water all day. So I had to eat something.
Right.
So meditation is the practice of quieting and shutting down your mind. I don't
Mhm.
know if you guys ever wondered, but sometimes like if you go within yourself self and take a step back from your own thoughts, you'll realize like, whoa, these thoughts ain't even, half of these ain't even mine. Like what the heck? Like you'll
Right.
be really looking like, what the heck is going
Right.
on? And meditation is what that is. Meditation is you taking that step back from the racing of your mind to really pay
Mhm.
attention to what's really going on within you.
Mhm.
So there's so many different types of meditations. There are guided meditations. They are just people, you know, the monks, they sit and meditate for hours, you know, just
Mhm.
silencing in their mind. But you have guided meditations for those who find it hard to concentrate if they're quiet. They need somebody to guide them through it. They're mindfulness meditations,
Mm.
walking meditations. But lately, I've been working on the inner smile meditation. It has been really, really powerful with me. And what the inner smile is, it's an ancient, they, I guess China gets the credit for it, but I guarantee if we look deeper down into it, it was black.
Right.
That's how I am.
Right.
But I learned this practice from one of my favorite teachers, and that's Mantak Chia. He
Okay.
is, man, his books are phenomenal, especially when it comes to energy and sexuality and just healing. But it's this inner smile meditation that he talks about. And the reason why this meditation is so powerful is because this meditation, you actually take your attention from outside of yourself to within, but focusing on specific organs in your body and actually
Mm.
giving energy and love to those organs. Because a lot
Wow.
of times, the reason why a lot of us get sick, a lot of us, suffer so much is because we do not take any time to spend with ourselves. You
Mm-hmm.
don't take the time to thank your heart for beating. You don't thank the time for your blood vessels and circulation and your stomach for digesting and your liver and your kidneys
Wow.
filtering out. We do not take the time to just focus on that, giving that any type of energy, and our body listens to
Mm-hmm.
us. It follows our commands. And so with this inner smile meditation, simple 10 minutes, I go within the meditation and I go and smile at each organ. And that's simply as me just closing my eyes, getting my breathing and rhythm going, closing out thoughts, and then I just focus on my heart. And I focus
Mm-hmm.
all this light energy surrounding my heart, and I'm just loving on my heart because my heart is just keeping me alive right now. And my
Yeah.
heart is loving it because it's like, oh wow, we got mind attention. She's giving us attention because our attention, y'all, your
Yeah.
attention is the most valuable thing. That's why advertising agencies spend millions of dollars. And I know, like,
Mm-hmm.
I just started getting some big advertising projects, and I'm like, well, people spend this much money on advertising, so your attention is everything, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, your heart starts to feel good. And I do the same for my organs, my liver, my kidneys, even my muscles. I notice sometimes if I get too tense, the back of my neck tightens up. And so I
Mm.
take a moment, I breathe, and I tell those muscles to release,
Yeah.
talking to myself, release, calm down, ease, and it actually does it. It actually
Yeah.
happens. And
Yeah.
so, those are just different types of meditations, but that inner smile meditation has been my thing lately, and I've been really loving it.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be one of my biggest takeaways. So I've been public about my recent health
Yes,
journey,
yes,
and wow, like I'm going to take that inner smile meditation and apply it to my brain. So,
yes.
for people who may be watching this later and don't know, the month of August, I went to the ER with what I now know they call the worst headache of your life. And I'm thinking I had COVID. Like I'm like, oh my God, I done got it again because I done had it before with
Right.
similar symptoms. And turns out it was a total of 7 brain aneurysms.
Oh my
And
God.
it was like, I don't know. I just immediately went into this place of gratitude because, my family has a history of aneurysms that have ruptured. And I later learned that one of mine did rupture. And, aneurysms can be fatal, like
Sure.
immediately. When that happens, that can literally take you out. And so, for me knowing that I had that many in my brain, but I'm still alive to this day. Like I haven't had any sort of residual effects. I haven't been limited in any way. I took my time when I got out of the hospital. I was in the neuro ICU for 9 days.
Mm,
And oddly enough, I don't want to say that, well, I will say that I'm thankful for the time because it forced me to slow down
mm,
and to really pause. And as much as I was still trying to be on my phone, responding to emails, because as an entrepreneur, you eat what you kill. So
right.
if you aren't on the ball, then the ball is dropped. And but it forced me to pause and to also just be more mindful of my health and be more mindful of listening to my body. And so for me, that became a spiritual practice as well, because it allowed me to be more in tune with my body and listen, like, oh, okay, if you're feeling a headache, now I'm like super mindful of that, super mindful of listening to my body. Anything that I feel is going on in my body, I'm like, okay, I need to step away from the computer. I need to sit the phone down. But I think one thing is so easy for us, and now especially since the world is back open, that we get back into this race of just go, 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 go. So I say all of that to lead to a question to you. How do you think, how do you think we can maintain some of the practices that I think a lot of us were, that was forced upon us during those 2 years, those lost years, where we were primarily stuck inside? Like, I think for some people, it was good for them because it caused them to look, look inside, look, be able to see differently, think how things have changed for them, or just reevaluate their lives. I know some people hated it. The extroverts were probably like, oh my God, I cannot be stuck inside.
Right.
But I think we all can say that we took away some critical, practices from that experience, whether that be now we're working from home, or, whether that be we are deciding whether we want to go out or, take a virtual meeting. So for you, whether it's personal or just in general, how do you think it compares from that time of being stuck inside to now us slowly transitioning of being back outside? What are some thoughts around that?
So first thing I'm gonna say is, and that's crazy that you brought it up. It was when you shared what you went through in the hospital with your brain aneurysm. That's
Mhm.
like that was around the time when I started this intentional, because that was a wake up call for me. I
Mhm.
noticed I was going so hard, and my thing is on my side of the family is strokes. Mother
Mhm.
had a stroke, my grandmother had a stroke, grandmother before that had a stroke, aunts had strokes,
Mhm.
and I know all that comes from stress, overworking,
Yeah.
overexerting ourselves, and that's like very common, especially for us as women, as mothers, and entrepreneurs. So
Yes.
I wanted to tell you that like that was a wake up call for you, but that was also a wake up call for me, and I'm so happy that
Yes.
you came out with your life. You
Yes.
still are doing what you're doing, and that's such a blessing and a
Yes.
testament. So
Yes. Yes.
kudos to you. But I guess as far as that transition of getting back, like for me, I was still doing stuff.
Mhm.
Um, I was still doing
You still out.
I was still out. But I don't know. It kind of like I don't know. I don't think if I'm the right person to answer that, because one, because I was always doing that, and then you always know my conspiracy background. I kind of
Yes.
was already not scared or whatever, but it definitely has changed how people like it's like you can definitely see a shift. For a lot of people are just like, I just want to be straight virtual.
Mhm.
I don't want to go back out and be in society. Where some people is like, I'm ready to get back out. My thing is, and I really do, because I try to keep ahead of the times. Like as times are going and we get more into this technological metaverse thing, more people are going to be inside. There are going to be more things that keep us pushed inside for reasons we're not going to get into tonight.
Right.
But the thing, I guess, it's just really all about balance. I know when we had that 2 year break, it forced me to do more live streamings, forced
Mhm.
me to interact with my audience virtually versus with the magazine. I always had to go to events. That was a
Mhm.
big part of how I made money, being at events and connecting and selling. And a lot of that, wasn't happening then. And now that stuff is happening now. So like it feels the same to me.
Mhm.
I don't feel like a big difference. Because I think um I don't like, I like to say I'm an introvert, but then sometimes I'm an extrovert. I get bored at home.
Mhm.
So I was just ready to be out. And then I never really took that 2 year break because I was out still traveling, doing stuff during
Right.
COVID.
Right.
So
Right. Which, I mean, it's not like you can get in trouble or anything. Like we
right,
weren't like totally restricted unless like for that
Like
one
March.
period of time where
Yeah,
we were
March.
like literally shut down. But
Yeah,
outside
March
of
and
that,
April.
you could basically self-manage yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So but you're right. It makes me think, because we are, like, you talk about the metaverse, like, I think the year of 2020, I say this, I've said this in a pitch, that there has never been a time of digital transformation like the year 2020, because
Right.
when the world closed, it literally forced everyone inside and forced us to be virtual. Like you said, you did more live streaming during that time, and it just shifted for those folks who weren't used to being online, weren't used to FaceTiming. It literally forced the entire world
Mm-hmm.
to meet technology and to have to use technology.
Right.
And I don't think that's going anywhere. And
Mm-hmm.
so, if anything, is accelerating even more.
Yeah.
We talk about Web3, cryptocurrency, NFTs, like, all of these things aren't going anywhere. And so, what are some ways that you think we can educate our community to learn more? Like, how can we as a community get up to speed and learn more about this current time with technology, the metaverse, and all of that? What do you think?
Okay, that's a good question. There's several things with that. Because I'm a big history head, and when I say history head, I ain't talking about the regular school history. I'm talking about
Mhm.
the real deal history. And one thing I've learned is that technology is nothing new to our people. If anything, we are the founders of it.
Mhm.
There are hieroglyphics or whatever the writings on the walls in Egypt of airplanes,
Mhm.
of technology we haven't even seen before,
Yeah.
in different items, and there are different books that talk about these types of different technologies. And so, whatever spell that was done on our people to make us forget who we are in our history, like, kind of puts us in, like, we're in the dark ages and we're just getting out. But one thing I want to say when it comes to technology in this time, a lot of us are nervous because we do know, and this is a critical point that we are all facing right now. And I'm not just talking about African American people. I'm talking about
Mhm.
human beings, period, on the planet. We're on this phase of, we can go over the tipping zone when it comes to this technology piece if we take it a little bit too far. Now, technology can be used for good, and it
Mhm.
can also be used for bad. And I feel like the key is to be balanced with it. Because, for example, I don't feel that technology is a bad thing. And the
Mhm.
reason why I feel that, and I say this all the time, is for people like me, people like yourself, we have a innate gift, talent, skill, and ability that deals with technology that we didn't learn in school, that we didn't learn
Mhm.
from other. It just comes to us. And
Yeah.
so, with that being said, it's like we are technology as well, and we're upgrading with the times. So that right there, I'm like, okay, technology isn't bad. It's not scary. The
Mhm.
thing that becomes messed up with technology is when we utilize technology to the point where we forget that we're nature, that we
Mhm.
forget that, we got to be out in the sun. We forget that we ground, because cell phones, computers, televisions, all that electromagnetic energy is not good for us.
Mhm.
It causes cancers, it
Mhm.
causes pain and arthritis. Being out in the grass, grounding, sucks that stuff out. So the thing I would tell people, like, during this time, like, it's okay to learn about technology, because face it, our world is changing. It's not going to go back to the way it used to be.
Mhm.
Technology, we're going to be in the metaverse. At one point in time, Facebook will be in Facebook. It's not going to be on our cell phones. We're going to be doing lives in a room together on a virtual thing, and everybody's looking like
Mhm.
people. That time is coming.
Mhm.
And so don't be afraid of it. And I say that because, that's how we're going to make our money. That's how we're going to connect with people. That's how we're going to continue to grow our businesses. So learn as much as you can. Never stop learning. Never not want to learn it because it's new. But also remember that you have a responsibility to this earth as well. So
Yes.
don't allow technology to just take over your whole day to day.
Yes.
Some is good. Put the phone down. It's
Yes.
good to turn that TV off. Don't sleep with the
Yes.
TV on. It's good to, go for that walk in the grass. Go be in,
Mhm.
like, go read a book. Go
Yes.
draw. those things, and not just do it once a weekend, but make that a part of your lifestyle. We have to learn how to balance technology, utilize technology to make our lives better, but also being sustainable to this earth. Because I'm into the Atlantis history.
Okay.
They say, Atlantis sunk to the
Mm-hmm.
ocean. And one of the reasons, based upon the history with that, is because they took it too far with technology. It
Mm.
was way more advanced than we are now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and they took it too far. So it's kind of like we gotta not repeat the same steps. We got to
Yes.
start being sustainable. We're
Yes.
polluting our earth too much.
Yes.
We got to start being mindful and taking care of the earth. And I feel like if we continue to learn about technology and utilize it, but also taking care of our planet, taking care of ourselves, then we can find ourselves in that balanced state. But like I said, we're in that critical phase right now as a planet to where we can take it too far. Like, this is
Mm-hmm.
how you know that it's going to go too far, is when people start getting them brain chips. And that's
Mm-hmm.
when it's going to be no turning back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we went too far.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep. Well, woo. Listen, we got somebody watching. We got one person, but I hope people go back on the replay because, baby, listen, I can talk to Azizah all night, but we don't want to scare the people too much. It is nothing to be fearful because, again,
no.
fear is false evidence appearing real. And
Yes.
one of the things that you said last year, and you said it again this year, is that we have to remember that we are humans. We are having, like, say it again before I botch it, Azizah.
We are humans here, or
We
we're
are spiritual
spirits
beings having
beings
a
here
human
having a human
experience.
experience.
Yes, we are
So,
spiritual beings having a human experience. So, as you were talking about technology, it also made me think about how people feel about money. Oftentimes, people always love to say that money is the root of all evil. And I'm like, no, money is not the root of all evil. Money is a resource, it's the
mm,
way we manage it. And humans and the greed for money that makes people do things that aren't right is the
mm,
root of all evil. But money itself is not the root of all evil. Money
mm,
is a resource, and we need money to be able to do the things that we're doing. We
mm,
have the power as human beings to choose what's right or to choose what's not right. And I think what you said is totally spot on. We have to be mindful. We have to keep that balance, not abuse technology. I think we have to embrace it, but we also have to have that discipline to know when to
mm,
put the phone down, when to close the laptop, when to turn the computer off, and just get back into our world, back into nature. There
mm,
is a documentary on Netflix,
mm.
and I believe it's called The Social Experiment. I may be
Okay.
wrong with the title, but it's really good. It's kind of dated, so but I would encourage people to check it out because it's all about people being on their phones and what goes on behind the scenes with us being on our phones. So it's deeper than what meets the eye. So that's one thing that I wanted to call out. um, Gosh, this has been such a good
Well,
conversation.
yeah.
Go ahead.
One thing I want to add off what you said when you're talking about money, and this is really important. I think it's important for people, especially with us talking about spirituality and being entrepreneurs and making business. Money, like you said, is nothing but a tool. It's a resource that we need. But one thing, if your money is not right in your life, you can't say that you're spiritually in alignment,
Mhm.
because to have an unlimited source of money means you have a mindset of abundance.
Mm.
That's a mindset. A lot of us who have poverty consciousness, that's a disease, that's a spiritual
Mhm.
ill.
Mm.
You can't, just like how you have to focus on your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health, your financial health is
Mhm.
a depiction of where you are spiritually as well. And
Yes.
that was a big thing for me to understand. Like, no, money is not evil. It's a tool. It's a resource of abundance, because that is like the tool to measure how much you can have on this planet. And
Mhm.
so once you get into that mindset of abundance, and that all of your needs are always met, um,
Yes.
that everything you need comes to you, that,
Yes.
you know, you are deserving of everything. The fact that you're here, and the fact, one thing we talked about, spiritual beings having human experience, we're human, so that means we are here to learn how to create and feel. Those are
Mm-hmm.
the two things that people who are not human and beings that are not
Mm-hmm.
human are not able to do. They can't
Yes.
create, and then they can't feel, they can't connect, they don't have senses. And
Mm-hmm.
so, with that being said, we're here to create empires. We're here to create things to give back to the planet, to experience abundance. All those things are okay. It is not okay to be on survival mode all the time. It's
Yes.
not okay to suffer. It's not okay to struggle. It's not okay not to have enough.
That's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
and we, like, as our people, we have gotten comfortable with that because that's what's been programmed to us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and another thing, a lot of times, our idea, and I think another thing is that shift of when money became so important, because there was a shift at one point within history where abundance was having a house, having land, you know, having that type of thing. And then
Mm-hmm.
I guess the entertainment culture came, and then it was just make sure you got cash, stacks, 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 you
Mm-hmm.
know, no matter what. And so with that shifting, it kind of put our focus on money and not on that feeling of just feeling abundant.
Yes.
Because when you tap into that abundance, because all of us got that abundance portal, sometimes you don't even need money.
That's right.
And just things just come to you and come your way. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And it's not, it goes beyond money because again, this recent experience with me, as they say, your health is wealth. If you don't have health, if you don't have, sound mind, you won't even know what to do with the money.
Right.
So being able, just being, having a physical body, that's why I love how you broke it down with, first you feed your mind, then you feed your body with your nutrition, and you continue that with walking and how you affirm yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
those are the things that help, among others, that help to keep you girded up as we go out through life and through
Mm-hmm.
each day. So, again, if you don't have your health, how can you achieve the wealth?
Man,
So
like,
it's important.
man,
Yes.
don't let me hit my first billion and I'm in the hospital because I had a heart attack
Hello?
because I was stressing. No, 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 no. I
And
need to
won't even
enjoy
be
it.
able to enjoy it. That's
Yeah,
right.
I need to enjoy it.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yep. And beyond that, we are here. I believe that we are blessed to be a blessing. So, what good is it that I'm blessed and I can't enjoy it with my friends? Like I would love for everybody to eat because it's better that way. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like in business, they always ask the question like, who are your competitors? And once we shift our mindset, especially in the creative field, that we don't have competitors, we have
Mhm.
collaborators, because your stamp on something is going to be totally different from my stamp on something, and that just means that we are creative. You know what I mean? Like, and
Right.
we can still work together and we can collaborate and we can both be successful. Like, it's plenty
It's
for
so much.
all of us to eat.
So much. Yeah.
Like, but again, back to what you said, you have to have that abundance mindset rather
Yeah.
than that mindset that has been programmed within our community of being jealous or feeling like we're competing with each other or killing each other over material things. It's like we have to do better as a people to wake up and to realize what's going on around us
Yeah.
and be better, be better stewards of what we have, our not and not just material things, but our physical bodies as well.
Right. Most definitely.
Woo! So,
That's a
okay.
lot.
I told y'all we can go deep if we
We can
want
keep it
to.
going.
We don't want to stress the people out too bad. So as we come to a close, I do want to bring us back up, lighten it up a little bit, and play a fun game of this or that. And this is
Okay.
something that we've been doing with all of the ladies that throughout our webinar series talking about self-improvement. So how it will work, I will give two prompts, this or that, And this game is not to say that one thing is better or worse than the other. It's really just to get a feel for your personal preference and what you like. So it's meant to be fun. Okay, the first one, this or that. Would you say meditation or yoga?
Yoga.
Okay.
Yoga.
Okay. So even though you meditate every day, it's a part of your daily practice, you would choose yoga over meditation.
Man, yeah, I would choose yoga over meditation. I love meditation, but yoga, like, I smoke weed, so I'm not hiding it. I'm an advocate for cannabis. But
Okay.
you get a
Smoke
good
weed.
yoga session in, it releases so much. Like you could go in
Mhm.
tense, do that yoga movement and stuff,
Mhm.
and it feels good.
Mhm.
Like you could feel the instant. Where sometimes even the meditation is good, but I like that physical.
Mhm.
I'm a
The
yoga
physical.
head,
Have you
and
ever done hot
I'm an
yoga?
athlete. Yeah, I'm an athlete.
Okay. Yeah, I know you be playing basketball and all of that.
So
Have you ever done hot yoga?
yes, I have. I love
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
And
I
yoga is very it detoxifies your body, and
Mhm.
then the movements activate your organs. Like I'm
Mhm.
like really big into making sure my organs are being nourished.
Mhm.
You know, like that's a big thing. So yeah,
Mhm.
yoga.
Healing from within. Oh, I love
Yeah,
it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Palo Santos or sage?
Palo Santos.
Okay. Okay.
Like Palo Santos is sweet. I love sage, but you know, and sage is good. I love sage, but Palo
Mhm.
Santos, I can bring that almost anywhere, and nobody complains. But sage, you'll get one of them little negative nannies. They smell some sage and about to die, and I'm like, that's because you're negative. But Palo Santos, like that's why you can't stand the
That's that
smell.
evil spirit.
Yeah, you the one that got it. So Palo Santos.
Oh, hilarious. Okay. Okay, this one is good. Sound bowls or meditation music?
I like sound bowls.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you incorporate that on a daily basis? When do you incorporate the use of sound bowls?
Usually on Sundays.
Okay.
Sunday is like my day where I do not work. I do not like. I chill. I meditate. You know, I flip my tarot cards.
Mhm.
And I usually do a longer meditation and yoga and stuff. So Sunday,
Okay. Okay. Um Spend time in nature or sleep?
nature.
Okay.
Like I'm the type I'll be at the park all day. Like for real, in the
Mhm.
grass, blanket, chilling,
Mhm.
book, water. I'm good. Nature.
Mhm. Okay. Nature girl. I love it. Okay, this is our last one. Waist beads or crystals?
Oh, that's hard. Because what if you got crystal waist beads?
It can be both.
Mm. I would say crystals.
Okay.
I would say crystals. And I say that because you can have crystal waist beads and still get the effects. But I love
Yes.
my crystals. Like I'm a
Yes.
crystal head.
Yes. Definitely. Definitely. I love it. Okay, that's all the this or that I got for you. Thank you so much for playing with me. That was so much
That was
fun.
fun. I liked it.
Anything, any parting words, anything else you want to say before I have you give the rundown of where folks can find you and all of that good stuff?
Yes. Well, one thing I want to say, I hope you guys, I hope I didn't say anything that was scary. I tried not
Mm-hmm.
to, but sometimes I can just go there. So please forgive me. But none of that was to be scared. It was all just to show you how much control you have over your reality in your world. Um, that you are in charge. And so
Mm-hmm.
if you want to see change in your life, you just got to take charge. But one thing, people always talk about those triggers that trigger negative things in us. You could get triggered and spiral down. Focus on your triggers that trigger you and spiral you up. I
Mm-hmm.
found out what one of my triggers were that was instantly tapped me into that happy vibration.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm in that happy vibration, I start feeling grateful. I start
Mm-hmm.
feeling joyful. That's when I get creative. That's when things start happening. And so one thing that I realized that triggered the happiness in me was music.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about music from the 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have noticed that when I don't listen to that type of music, like if I'm working, like I can notice that my like it can bring my energy down because of everywhere else around me. So I realized like, okay, music is a happy trigger for me. You know,
Yes.
like I was saying before, how easy it is for us to go to negative feelings and negative vibrations is because we're addicted to it.
Yes.
And triggers can trigger us down because we're so familiar with it. We got to be able to flip that to the happy side and joyful side. So knowing what those triggers are going to be so important
Mm-hmm.
for you to be able to maintain that vibration, because that's how you're going to manifest the good stuff. You're
Yes.
not going to manifest that good stuff if you're on low vibrations. You have to be on the vibration of what those things are. So if you wanted a brand new house and want to manifest that, you can't feel like you know you're homeless or you have nowhere to go or you're not supported or taken care of. You're not on the vibration of manifesting that big old house. You have to be in that space within yourself, within your mind, within your heart for it to manifest
Mm-hmm.
into your life. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so remember, find out what those happy triggers are and start triggering yourself into a positive state of mind versus being triggered into that negative state.
Yes, I love it. Spiritual beings having a human experience. So the
Yes.
key, what I heard is the key to manifesting is believing that you already have it. So you see yourself in the future, you see yourself in the house, you see yourself with the wealth, you see yourself with the health, and it's in the mind, so it already is.
Right. And
Yep.
like not even to put out there, not even in the future, but right now. Like
Right
right
now.
now, I'm
That's
abundant. I
right.
got everything. I ain't lacking nothing. I'm breathing. I got my food in my house, groceries, gas in my car.
Yes.
Like I am abundant right now. This is the energy right now. And because
Yes.
it is like that right now, it's gonna be like that tomorrow.
That's right.
It's gonna be like that next time. So you have that now. Like, you
Mhm.
know, that's there now. So
Mhm.
remember that,
Woo,
y'all. Your
love
present
it.
moment is the most powerful.
That's right. That's right. The past is gone. The future is unknown. All we have is the present, which is today. So enjoy it. Be grateful for it. Do something to feed your spirit. Do something for you. I hope you all have enjoyed us this talk this evening, not
Yes,
just us,
it was
but
really
enjoy this talk
good.
because we are merely vessels bringing it forth. And I just want to thank you again, Azizah, for spending your time with us, for sharing with us some of the practices that you do on a daily basis to maintain spirituality as an entrepreneur. Please tell the people what you have going on, what's coming up, where they can find you, all of the things.
Okay, so I got a lot of stuff going on, guys. So anybody
Run
that's
it.
interested for Natural Woman Magazine, we are revamping. We're coming up on our 10-year anniversary next month.
Woo!
You know, I'm always rebranding, not rebranding so
Yes,
much where you don't see it, but we're revamping. So the website
yes,
will be back up here shortly. But you can, you know, follow me on social media at Azizah Nubia. That's where I am on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Check out my channel. I have videos on there. You can also go to my website at azizanubia.com. That's where you can be connected with pretty much anywhere I'm at, events that I'm speaking at, things I'm a part of. I will also be a speaker at the Hustle for Change business seminar happening in Cincinnati, Ohio on October 9th. It's going to feature Wallow and Gilly from $1 Million Worth of Game. So I'm super excited for that. I'm
yes,
also a speaker at Will Manifest in Atlanta, Georgia. This is like the ultimate women's entrepreneurial place to be in Atlanta. I'm so
yes,
grateful to be able to be a speaker. Shouts out to Tracy Bryant Swint for just bringing me on as one of her speakers. So I'm excited for that. And then, you know, you can follow AZ Media if you're ever interested in any type of marketing or branding things. It's azmediadesign.com. And then I have a few more other things happening, but I can't really talk about them just yet. But it's a lot of good stuff happening. But so far, that's where you can find information.
awesome. So y'all hear all of the things. Y'all make sure y'all tap in. I will just do a quick plug that next week is actually our last week for the Self Improvement Strategies for Entrepreneurs series, part 4. We're going to be talking about self love and authenticity.
Yeah.
Woo!
Good
You
one.
don't want to miss that one. You don't want to miss that one. Self-love and authenticity. Man, in a world full of imposters and fakes and everybody's trying to be like everybody else, why not just be yourself? Man, it's so much more easier. It's beautiful. It's divine because there is no other like you, fearfully and wonderfully made. So please
Mm.
join us next week for part 4 of our series. And then next month, October, GPD is going to be celebrating Cybersecurity Month. So, as we were talking about on today, technology, it's a good thing, but it has a dark side. And we are educating people about that dark side and how to protect yourself online. So,
Oh, I need to
um,
do that. My Facebook page was hacked the day before yesterday.
wow.
And I was
Wow.
like, I was just telling somebody, I said, I need to find out how to secure my social
Yes.
assets because that's part of my business.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
that's a good one.
And
Gotta give me that
yes.
information.
Yes. So and like I said, the digital traffic is at an all-time high. So of course, with the good, there is the bad. And you just have to be aware of how to protect yourself online with the information that you're putting out there, et cetera, et cetera. So with that, I'm just going to say thank you so much again for being with us this evening. And be sure, if you didn't catch us live, to catch the replay on YouTube and Facebook. And with that, we are out. Have a good
Thanks for having me.
evening. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.